Welcome back to Snipe City Cards, and we have some very big news today. We apologize for not getting the PSA grading reveal up yet. We will get that up in the next couple of days, but we put that on pause because of this pretty big, significant news involving PSA and COMC, and what I think the projections of this news will be. Generally, for people that are collecting, for collectors, it is a nice thing to have with a lot of ease of access. For PSA as a company, in terms of their profit, it will generate a lot more profit for PSA. For the hobby, specifically of hockey cards, the hockey card hobby as a whole, I think this is going to be a major negative, and it's going to drive the value of hockey cards down significantly. And the reason why, I will get into explaining it as we go on. But basically, COMC, if you haven't seen our videos before, is check out my cards, comc.com. It is a very useful marketplace for collecting, anybody collecting anything, but it's specifically attached to Upper Deck, but it's good for all sports cards. But basically, the gist is COMC is the bank, and much like you don't carry cash around these days, instead of having your hockey cards in person all the time, you can send them to COMC, they itemize them, they store them in your account, and you can sell on COMC's marketplace. Just like if you don't have to get cash out of your bank, you can send a transfer to someone else, or you can pay your bills off of it. COMC can do all of that without having to have your cards physically in front of you. So it's very useful, it's a very cool thing to have. Finally, as of today, which is July the 21st, 2023, COMC has made an agreement with PSA to allow collectors to send cards directly from the COMC platform to PSA for submission. Currently, what we're seeing right now is if your card has a maximum value of $499 US or less, it is $24 and a 12-week turnaround. If your card is $1,499, it is $75 or less, it is $75 and 4-week turnaround. Express is $2,500 or less at $170 and a 3-week turnaround. Then we have Super Express for cards worth $5,000 or less at $330 at a 2-week turnaround. And then Walkthrough, which is cards that are 10 grand maximum value or less. That is $640 per card to get those graded, and that takes 2 weeks turnaround. Now, if we compare that to PSA's actual pricing as it is, if you are a collector member on PSA, you can do the value bulk if you send in bulk cards, and that is $19 a card. Otherwise, your standard value is $25 a card for $499 or less. If you wanted an expedited turnaround, it's value plus, which is $40 a card, and then most of the other prices are very similar. Regular is the same as COMC at $75. Express is $150 as opposed to it being $170 on COMC. Super Express is $300 as opposed to $330 on COMC, and Walkthrough is $600 as opposed to $640 on COMC. So COMC is making a little bit of premium if you've got a higher value item. Then for dual service, if you want to get an autograph card graded and get the auto graded, it's $5 more on the value at $29. It is $99 for regular, $215 for Express, $420 for Super Express, and $820 for Walkthrough. And you can contrast that with PSA's website for live cards. So $35 is value, $55 is value plus. We have regular at $99 a card and Express at $195 a card. Super Express is $390 a card with a 3-day turnaround, and Walkthrough is $780 a card. Why do I think this is going to be bad for the hobby? The problem is there's too many greedy parties trying to make money, and obviously businesses need to make money, but the hobby will suffer as a whole. So there is short-term money to be made and long-term money to be lost for all collectors. And the reason is not specifically PSA's fault. This is actually a great tool to have. It's not specifically Upper Deck's fault. It's the fact that they're now all tied in with COMC. So Upper Deck's online platform, Upper Deck ePack, is tied into COMC. You can buy cards online on Upper Deck ePack. You can trade your cards amidst Upper Deck ePack, but you can't sell it. If you want to sell the card and get some money back, you have to transfer it either home and list it privately or on eBay or on any other auction site, or you can send it to COMC, and the COMC is instantaneous. If you send like a small amount of cards, 1 or 2 cards. It gets there in under a minute. So there are a lot of cards on COMC for any of the products that are released on Upper Deck e-Pack. So stuff like Upper Deck the Cup that doesn't get released on e-Pack, this isn't going to be affected. But the majority of your other releases, we're talking Platinum, Metal, Series 1, all the other flagships, Series 2, Series 3, SP Game Used, Parkhurst. There's a lot of them. Even Ultimate, I think, gets released on e-Pack. Like, as far as, there might be only like 5 or 6 products, like SPA, the Cup. I don't think Premier gets released on e-Pack, but not many of them that don't get released on e-Pack. And the sheer volume of cards that get transferred from e-Pack to COMC is way more than you guys would think exist. As opposed to cards that are being opened privately at home. Let's say there's a card number to 100 and everyone opens that at home out of Upper Deck the Cup, and all 100 cards have been pulled. If it's not a very prominent card, maybe 10, 15, 20 of them make it to eBay, maybe 50 of them, but the other 50 just sit in someone's collection until they're ready to sell them. The thing that happens with Upper Deck e-Pack and COMC is that kind of stuff, you see the volume of what gets transferred over is significantly higher, and it drives down the prices. So what we're going to be seeing beyond that is a lot of cards being graded now at $24 a card, specifically flagship stuff. Your Young Guns, there's just the volume of PSA Young Guns is going to go through the roof as a result of this. And I think it's just going to make supply way higher, and demand is just going to stay the same. It is still slightly dipping, as it has been pretty much since the pandemic stopped. And that's basically the gist of this video. PSA on COMC is great. I've got some cards on there that I would love to get graded, and I probably will send in to get graded. But any of the flagship stuff, any of that kind of stuff, it's just the amount of cards that are going to be graded and listed on COMC's marketplace. You can also sell through eBay on COMC. It's going to flood the market, and I think it's horrible for the hobby. It's going to drive the value of everyone's collectibles down. It's going to make PSA some money, so it's very good on them. And honestly, if I was PSA or COMC, this is a no-brainer to go forward with that. But because Upper Deck e-Pack has the ties with COMC and it's just too easy to transfer stuff over there, that's I do see the market taking a pretty strong dip. But that's my thoughts on this. I think this is very, very, very significant news for Upper Deck hockey cards and anything collecting in that regard. I'm curious to see what you guys think. If you guys are on COMC, if you like the move as someone that has collectibles and you plan on sending stuff in, or what your thoughts are on how it will affect the market as a whole. Because COMC does have about 30 million cards in their, whatever you want to call it, vault or bank. And the rates are very reasonable on here for PSA submission. So something very interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments, and stay tuned. We will get our PSA submission reveal up in the next few days. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.